And welcome to our first Cardinals Nest of the 2021-2022 St. Mary's University of Minnesota athletic seasons. And this is the Cardinals Nest where we talk St. Mary's sports. I'm Dean Beckman, the faculty athletics representative. My co-host once again this season is Donny Nadeau, our sports information director. And Donny, our first guest is our head volleyball coach, now in her fifth season, Jackie Kiecker. Donny, great to have Jackie join us for the first show of the season.
5 years, Jackie. 5 years already. That's crazy.
A long time.
The only negative to having Jackie on is we don't get to interview her in person. And unfortunately, with our COVID restrictions, we're still Zooming the Cardinals Nest. But Jackie, great to have you on and really looking forward to talking some Cardinal volleyball.
Glad to be here.
So Jackie, I was at the red-white scrimmage this past Saturday at the St. Mary's Gymnasium, and you were the referee for that. And Matt Klosky, one of our faculty members, was heckling you from the stands. So did you hear that? Do you block out all the noise? He didn't like some of the calls you were making because
I didn't hear.
Against his team, he was heckling.
I didn't hear a word.
Okay.
I was focused on the teams for sure. So yeah, I missed a few calls, but it's a scrimmage and I'm more focused on how we look as a team than what every call. And, our team has to get used to some bad calls. So nope, I didn't hear them. And
okay, good. Well, I'm pretty sure Matt had absolutely no idea what he was talking about, but he enjoyed trying to heckle anyway. Now to his wife's credit, Tricia, she was poking him saying, don't do that, Matt.
Yeah, I didn't even notice it. That's funny though. Good. I'm glad the crowd was getting into it. I'm glad it was.
And it was a really good turnout, wasn't it? I mean, I was there for a while and there was a lot of people there watching.
Yeah, that's what I heard. My back was turned, so it was, but from what I heard, it was packed, and I could just tell the energy from the team that they were excited just to have people in the gym. So it's just a whole new energy, and yeah, it was just really great to have fans there. So
before we talk about this year, and I do want to get into that scrimmage and the performance, but let's just back up to last spring. One of the advantages of COVID, I guess you could say, is you got to play some matches in the springtime in preparation for this fall. But it had to be difficult playing a shortened season and then playing it in the springtime. Just talk a little bit about how you guys handled COVID last year.
Yeah, last year, I mean, I think we're just beating a dead horse when we say it was difficult because everybody went through it. But we really took on the opportunity to have a lot of practice time. We were able to do a lot more hands-on in practices, doing film and doing more breakdowns. So we got more time with the team before we started competing. So that was a huge advantage. And then playing in the spring, you were able to really push to this fall and what we want our upperclassmen, our returners to look like, and just instill some new things that Kylie and I wanted to bring to the table. And it was just a learning opportunity, and we had a lot of success last year. So definitely gained some traction from last year coming into this fall, and it's evident that that's what happened. So definitely a good thing that happened last year that we can take away from it.
Related to that, Jackie, did it feel like a super quick turnaround?
Well, to say the least, yes. The turnaround was big time. And I've talked with some other coaches at different schools, and it's like, why do I feel so behind when we're really not at all? We had everything in place ahead of time, but to end in April and then already turn around and get ready for our freshmen, get ready for move-in, get all the administration part finished. It was I'm finding that it really caught up to us at the end. To have a season in the spring turnaround and have it right away in the fall with school starting back up, things being normal as they can be. It was definitely a lot, definitely challenged us as coaches, but also our team, but they're responding really well to it. So the turnaround was challenging.
It's hard. And I agree with you. It's hard to beat a dead horse, and COVID is kicking all of our butts, and we're all tired of it. But you have to deal with it again this fall. And fortunately, we have a full schedule, which is always the positive. But talk a little bit about your preparation dealing with COVID again here in the fall.
Yeah, we connected with our team a lot this summer, just to tell them it is going to be a normal season for us, but it doesn't mean we're not going to hit some hardship with possible rescheduling. I mean, just this weekend with Sugarloaf being canceled here, we had to make the move for off campus. So we told them, come in just ready for changes again, be adaptable, be willing just to be told the day before on a time change or a game change. So we told them, come in prepared as you can, but we're going to try and keep it as normal as we can. I mean, the biggest thing is just preparing mentally for it. And then when it hits it, sometimes you just can't prepare. So just having the expectation that there will be changes, there's still going to be difficulty, and we're still in the pandemic. I mean, COVID is not over for us, and we're still in it. But fortunately, we have the vaccine and we have protocols in place that we learned from last year. And so they've really come in with just open mind and a positive attitude and understanding things will change, and keeping the communication open with coaches and team is crucial at this point as well.
And now we've moved into the fall. Talk a little bit about your preseason. It seems like, it's been almost 2 weeks, but it seems like it's been like 3 days. Talk a little bit about the preseason and what has carried over from last fall or last spring, and what's kind of new as you move forward to opening this weekend.
This year, well, we have 18 on our roster and 9 are freshmen. So we really had to start from the ground up on building what our team culture is. So preseason was a lot of hours in the gym, but also in the classroom. We had a lot of classroom sessions. We read a book as a team and talked about the book. So really rebuilding not just our talent on the court, but off the court, team culture. What's our dynamic? What's our identity? What kind of team are we going to be? Because we have 9 returners and 9 freshmen. So we're really excited about it because we have a really hungry group. And so coming in, we knew we wanted a lot of time on the court, and having a young team, it's challenging coming from high school, doing 2-ish a days, and then coming into doing 3 a days with a classroom session to finish. So it was hard, and they hadn't been through a preseason. I mean, you look at our entire roster, we have our seniors and our juniors that really went through a preseason, and we have our sophomores and freshmen, which is like 13, I believe, that have not gone through a college preseason. So a lot of challenges presented, but we stuck with our schedule. We balanced it the best we could. I'm happy with how our preseason went. I think that the team discussions was probably the most beneficial. I believe the talent will come, the putting the pieces together on the court will come, but we have to establish that team culture and that teamwork first.
As one of the communication professors on campus, that pleases me to hear, because communication is important. You can have all the talent in the world, but if they're not talking to each other and comfortable with each other out there, then it won't matter. What did you see, Jackie, in that red-white scrimmage as you look back on it now and watched a little film from it? What were some takeaways from that scrimmage?
I mean, the biggest takeaway is we're young, and there's going to be a lot of just stumbling through and learning how to walk again. And so we're young, but we are hungry, we're coachable, and you can see that the upperclassmen are really stepping up to the plate of holding the underclassmen accountable. But I see our freshmen holding our upperclassmen accountable. So I'm seeing that dynamic. And as far as the talent, we have the talent. I mean, offensively, we're stronger than we've been in the past. And so being such a younger offensive strength team, I know that it's going to take some time, but I just see pieces. I see glimpses of just really good volleyball, but putting them together is still where we're at. But that's just going to come with more practice and just playing. I'm ready for the weekend just to play and put it all out there and see what they can do. I mean, you can just tell they're eager. So I see the pieces coming together, but I see leadership from all around the court for sure.
I've got to imagine that with that many young freshmen and sophomores that haven't gone through the preseason, how important and how much have the upperclassmen kind of stepped into that role of taking the younger athletes under their wing and kind of say, hey, this is how it is, and this is what to expect. Talk a little bit about that upperclassman leadership.
Yeah, we have a very strong upperclassmen. They each have a very crucial role on the team, and they've really embraced the underclassmen. At all of our team talks, the underclassmen just talked about how welcomed they feel and how much they feel like they've known the team for years already, and because they don't feel separated. Because a lot of times when you have a half and half group, it's like, we need to stick together because we have 9 freshmen coming in. We don't want our spots to be taken. And it's still competitive, but it's healthy. And it's very much upperclassmen are like, we need you to get better. And because we are going to be better as a team. And so really implementing the team aspect. So upperclassmen have just been phenomenal. They have really helped build this culture to what it is now. And to continue that, they know that we need our freshmen to be on the same page. That's what it's all about, is we all need to be rowing in the same direction. So upperclassmen have just been great leaders all around.
Jackie, you expressed some excitement about going to the Luther Invitational this weekend. So tell us more about it. Who are some of the teams you'll be seeing there?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough tournament. I mean, we start with playing Luther, and then we play Edgewood out of Wisconsin. And Edgewood has always been a solid team. We faced them 2 years ago, and they were a really good team then. I don't see why they wouldn't be now. And then we will go to Wartburg and play, I believe it's MSOE, who is good. They were young 2 years ago. So for the 2 years now, I know that they're going to have some veterans on that team. And then Wartburg has always just been solid. So going to see a lot of talent this weekend. And it's going to be interesting to see how our team is going to react to that. We are going to face some really good teams that are going to do better things than we, but it's a learning opportunity. So I know it's going to be tough, but I'm anxious just to get started, because the more mistakes we make, the more we're going to be able to address it and get better at it.
And so for you, that's got to be a little bit difficult, because I know your attitude, you're a winner. You want to win. You're driven by that, and you're going to have some bumps in the road with a young squad. And how important are these early tournaments? You've got one this weekend, you've got one the following weekend, and I don't want to say they don't mean anything, because obviously every match does, but your preparation's got to be for the conference schedule. How important are these early tournaments to get some of those learning things out of the way?
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely important. I think it's crucial, and we're really pushing trusting the process, trusting the journey, enjoying the journey. We can't think about the outcome of the weekend. Just setting small milestones for our team so that we can address what's just right in front of us. And I believe if we stick to everything we've talked about these last 2 weeks and implement them, I believe we will see success, but we have to do it one thing at a time. We can't think about the outcome, because then we get overwhelmed, and then that's when we panic. So we have to think when we're put in a tight spot, which is against some of these good teams, how are we going to react? What worked? What didn't work? And then what do we need to do in the gym the following Monday at practice? So it's going to be a statement for us this weekend of what kind of team are we going to be. Now it's game time. We're coming up against some really competitive teams. And I mean, our team believes that we have a special group this year. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I have every confidence in this team because they're bought in. They're very much bought in. So pretty excited. Of course, I want to win every game, but I have to trust the steps myself. So.
I was looking at your schedule, Jackie, and it seems to me that you shouldn't even bother unpacking your bags until at least October, because you're on the road the entire month of September. Your first home matchup isn't until October 1st. So tell us how the schedule shakes out.
Yeah, the scheduling, I mean, we travel for the tournament. It's, with the schedule change that we've already experienced, this opening weekend was a bummer, because that was going to be our first time in our home court. So, but we have to adapt to it. So we just have to get used to be traveling and playing away. We've always played in away tournaments. And then with other dual matches, we always just go every other year hosting and then traveling. And then the conference schedule's always been kind of, we're either at the very beginning at home or at the end we're at home. So I'm excited about this year's schedule though, because then we finish our last 4 matches in our home gym. And I believe that's a huge advantage because we're used to playing in a hot gym. We're used to our atmosphere, and for us to be at home, the last stretch of conference, I think is going to be really beneficial for us.
Jackie, we mentioned it a little bit early on, but when you do finally get to play at home, there's going to be fans in the stands. You played all your matches last year with nobody in the stands. It was eerily quiet in the gym. But how important is that, and what kind of an advantage can that give you, actually having home fans in the stands while you're playing?
I think it creates momentum for the team. I mean, I could see the nerves when we did red and white scrimmage on Saturday. They haven't played in front of a crowd in 2 years. And so now you have eyes on you and people cheering. And so we kind of have to remember what it's like to have fans there and people yelling and celebrating. And we are going to have fans that want to talk to us when we're playing. So it's going to be exciting, and we're ready for it, but it's going to take some getting used to as well. And you could just tell Saturday it was like kind of just nerves. Now we have our students and families in front, but I think once we get used to it again, it's really gonna push, because our team just loves having the family and friends support us, and I think it'll make a huge difference. I mean, last year with how we did with no fans, I'm excited to see how we're going to be with fans. So
I would imagine, Jackie, that maybe because of COVID, the sport itself has stayed relatively stable. Are there any new rules or anything like that we should know of going into the new season here?
New rules. I mean, we can't shake hands still and can't switch sides. So we have to find a unique way just to tell the other team good job. I mean, last year it was weird just waving, but we definitely want to do more just to have that sportsmanship with the other team of, if it comes to the best team won and it was the other team, we got to show that acknowledgement of good game, good sportsmanship. So yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that I can think of that's really going to be different with now having fans in and everything. So,
and I'm sure I'll ask this of every coach, but the MIAC is going to have a new look now with St. Thomas going Division I and St. Scholastica coming in. Can you talk a little bit about the conference schedule and what you see as the challenges moving forward in the conference?
Yeah, I mean, we open up conference October 1st at home with Scholastica, and they are a very solid team. I mean, them taking the place of St. Thomas, it's still a good team. We're exchanging a good team for another good team. So the MIAC is still going to be really strong. The challenge I see is we're traveling to Concordia again this year. We did that in the spring and we had to do it in one day, but we are doing it again this year. We get to stay overnight. Challenge of traveling will definitely be there, and playing a full MIAC schedule. Last year we played half the MIAC schedule, and now we have that full schedule. So just getting back to playing a lot of games in a short amount of time is going to be something to adapt to.
All right, Jackie, anything else you'd like us to know before you embark on this fall 2021
There is one thing that Jackie wants us all to know. She learned something new in the off season.
Oh,
Jackie is now a ukulele player.
Excellent. Now, had we known that, we should have had her bring her ukulele and play.
That's what I said.
Yep, I learned the ukulele.
So why the ukulele, Jackie? What inspired that?
Well, I love music. My mom is a singer in a band. And so I was raised just around music. So music is something I love. And I've always wanted to learn an instrument. And I saw a friend playing it one time and I'm like, that looks less intimidating than a guitar or a piano. So I was like, I can deal with 4 strings. So I just something to keep my mind fresh too. You can only look at a computer screen for so long when you're in quarantine. So something I can learn, but yeah, it's fun.
I ordered a ukulele once, but I made the mistake of ordering mine with no strings attached. It didn't work out. So do you sing with your ukulele, Jackie? Are you a singer too?
I do, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
my mom taught us all how to sing, yeah.
Okay, good, good.
So I will never do it in public, but yes.
Okay, okay. That's
So
fair.
don't ask.
Me either. All right, Jackie Kiecker, our head volleyball coach. Good luck now as you enter your 5th season now as head coach of the Cardinals, and you're ready to start this weekend down at Luther College.
Thanks, Jackie.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for watching the Cardinals Nest.